Hi, this is Duane Henry Hoefer Lyon, the People's Poet. I'm so glad to be with you today via Purple Bear Productions and thrilled you tuned in. I once wrote an essay titled Truth, Rhymes, and Riddles of Wisdom. A good portion of that essay had to do with poetry. So I've got some thoughts I want to share with you. Great poems and songs are not written on busy street corners or in a crowded mine. Being alone, all inspiration you will find. Leave the path of light and you will be surrounded by darkness, lost in life's night. Friends, you will write from your heart. If darkness is in your heart, you will write from that darkness. If light is in your heart, or joy, whatever is in your heart, that's what will come out. Thirdly, to know a person, look at the people surrounding them. They chose them. Young people, you want to be a great poet? You're going to have to hang around with some great poets. To write a great poem, you're going to have to read some great poems. Now, I'm not Shakespeare, but guess what? He's not here. I'm no Mark Twain. I'm just Duane. But I have been blessed to travel through 70 nations of the world and see a lot of things people's only dreamed about. I've swam in the Jordan River. I've climbed the pyramids in Egypt. I've walked London Bridge. I've rode a camel across the Sahara Desert in Morocco. I've just been blessed. So write from your heart. Now let me say this. God is a poet. The Bible is a poem. Read the holy book and know him. Like a cup of cold water on a hot summer's day, joy is too beautiful not to share along life's way. Happiness is not a burden to bear. Share that love everywhere. Like an aluminum cup of well water after hauling hay on a hot August day. So joy is too beautiful not to share along life's highway. There are only two bad poems, the ones not written and the ones not shared. If you wrote a poem and it's hidden away in a shoebox under the bed or languishing in the Library of Congress, what's the point? We need to share our poems, and I share them a lot of different ways. And I want to encourage you to put some of your poetry on YouTube. Have them printed up and hand them out. Share them. Share them wherever you go. Poetry, I believe, is the highest form of verbal art. Now, that's a mouthful. Poetry is living art. To write great poems, you must read every day. I was around a young lady recently where they had a kind of a reading night for open mic for poets. And this young lady told me, I practice every day. And I told this college student, it shows, and it did. Poems are born of love from the heart. You never know the finish when you start. Look to the Creator for each work of art. Creativity is not given, it's cultivated. Don't allow the world to make you jaded. Write your heart. The downtrodden will be elated. Finally, knowing is not enough. You see, to know you need to share your poems, it's not enough. You've got to do it. Now, the YMCA has a motto, mind, body, and spirit. And I really like that. Every single day I study architecture, I study art, I study people. I look in store windows. I look in the countenance of folk walking by me. Every office or bank or mall I go in, I look at the paintings. Art is everywhere if we have the eye to see it. So I fill my mind with this art. I fill my spirit with prayer and meditation every day. I read the Bible. The Bible is full of poetry and full of truth. So I have that spirit life, the mind, body, and the spirit. The body, I exercise every day. I've exercised every day since I was probably 10 years old. Now I do different forms of exercise, but I eat every day and I have to exercise every day because I don't function if I don't exercise. I don't function if I don't read poems. I don't function right if I don't have a spiritual life. I know people that go to church nearly every day. They don't have any other life. And at times I'll classify them as so heavenly minded they're no earthly good. Then there's others that go to the gym every day. They don't go to church. They don't study art or go to school. And I heard someone one time name those type folk dumbbells. I wouldn't say that, of course. And then there's another group. I meet friends that I went to high school with, and years later, they're still in college somewhere, living with mom and dad. And I don't know what you'd call them. I think Mark Twain once said, educated idiots. That's a little harsh. But, I don't want you to move in the health club. I don't want you to move in the church. I don't want you to move into the school and don't have any other life. But I believe the YMCA, which stands for Young Men's Christian Association, founded by Christians, followers of Christ, their initial motto, and still is, mind, body, spirit. And I'll tell you what, there's some truth there. I meet people all the time that they're going to go to heaven early. I talked to a lady yesterday in the library, and I said, I know you love the Lord, and you're going to see him real soon. She's about my age, but she's going to school, she's doing this, she's going here, she's going everywhere. But she's wearing herself out. Now, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. And I've seen folks with lots of faith get sick and fight like the devil to stay on earth. So that's a thought. Think about it. I love you, God loves you, but I want to encourage young people. We need to pass this on and encourage young people to write. Andy Warhol had, I believe it was called the Art Factory in New York, but every town needs an art factory for young people. And we need to encourage young people to take time to paint, to write poems, to share what's in their heart with rhyme. And I'm more excited about poetry than I've ever been in my life. And I love to share my faith through poetry. I love to share my thoughts and feelings and touch other people through it. Well, that was poetry chatter for today, I'll call it. But I want you to think about it. I'd love for you to share the poetry that's in your heart. Now, you're going to have to relax. You're going to have to unclutter your life. A poet, they choose their words very carefully, and they make words count. So if you're stressed out and you don't just sit down and just write a poem, just like scrambling eggs. It don't work like that. You're going to have to get in a quiet place, not just in your mind, but in your life. You've got to take time for you. And you are unique. And so I want to encourage you in that. Encourage you to write and then take time to enjoy life. After I used to haul hay, I loved to drink water out of those old pumps. And we'd pump it, and there was usually one or two aluminum cans around the pump, and we would pump that full and drink that water. And, after sweating and getting real hot, that water was good and cold. But you know what was just about as much fun as drinking a big glass of that? Watching your buddy drinking and watching him pour all that water and go all down his shirt and hay all over us. When it gets so hot, we'd pull our shirt off and haul hay, and we'd get a good tan and had long blonde hair. I mean, we all thought we was Elvis. But it was good to watch. And then we'd go on and eat a bologna sandwich. I think the fellow we worked for would bring a loaf of bread and a pound of rack bologna. Farmers would pick us up in Jordan, Kentucky. I was raised in a town of 30 people. And we'd go out and haul hay and make money. Sometimes we'd get a nickel a bale, 3 cents a bale. And we pulled some long days to get that money to spend on flowers for our girlfriend or candy over at Jordan Grocery. We eat up all our profits, but that's the way it went. Well, thank you for tuning in. Give this some thought. Give this mind, body, spirit program some thought. Develop your own plan. People are different. Now, everybody don't like to go to the gym. People like to walk in the woods, and they exercise at home, and then some people can exercise at home. They're just not that disciplined, or they're not bent that way. Everybody's different, so be who you are. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe to this channel, and I hope you'll tell your friends about it. Thank you. Have a great day.